Welcome back. Yesterday we ran through the Badlands of Wyoming, and now let's go see Yellowstone. Thanks for joining. Good morning. Yeah, check this. The sleep was ridiculous. Check this out. Yep, that's right off the camper. So, you can imagine, you can hear the geese in the background. I mean, we slept great. Temperature never got real low, maybe 40-ish. So it was perfect with all the windows open. Richard said the same thing about the tent. So now I'm gonna make a proper breakfast and I think get moving and head to the Tetons. Even Yellowstone, baby. Pretty excited. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and thanks for coming along. Get up here. Dirty clothes bag. All right. You got. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to get that now. Chorizo. Coffee creamer. Okay. I'm going to start with the coffee, Sarge. And whenever you want to grab the chorizo, I'm going to start setting up so we can do this thing. Chorizo. Simple. Jet oil. Also my coffee setup. Why not? I used to carry like a separate pitcher and a separate French press and separate. Now, And honestly, a lot of time, guys, I'm not even messing with you here. Listen, you know my pet peeves about the bougie world is I even carry this stuff. Okay, decaf and real. And now I've got good coffee too, but I still drink this, and sometimes I'll just heat water if I want coffee fast. Like you guys know, I like to drink coffee all day long, so I'll make this stuff, and all I do is grab this, put water in it, and in a couple of minutes I can throw this in, and I have coffee in a few minutes on the trail. In 5 minutes for sure, I've got coffee on the trail, and then I'm off and going again. So, this works. So yeah, I've converted to that for coffee, water, boiling, lots of things. So you can see it's clean, but what you saw me do before is just put a little oil on it in the time lapse, and scrub it free, and then I'm just gonna heat it up again because I haven't used it in a while, so I'm gonna heat it up again and then re-oil it. Let that original oil burn off, and then I'll clean it again and oil it again, then I'll be ready to cook on it. And it just makes things taste better and cleaner. And remember, these scottles are like a cast iron skillet. Do not use soap. There's a specific soap you can use for it, but it's really not abrasive. Don't use anything to kind of attack there's not necessarily a coating, but the finish on the pan, because if you do, it'll start rusting on you, and then, I mean, you'll have to treat it every time you use it to cook, so be mindful about that. But what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna heat this bad boy up and get it smoking, and once it's done smoking, I'll wipe it all down and we should be ready to cook. We carry those because if you're really on the trail and not just on forest roads, it's pretty impossible to take eggs, even in little carriers, and not break some or a few. So super easy to stack in a cooler. Now you get eggs. But I need to get this going. And then Sarge said that we got like 117 miles till we get to Lake Yellowstone. So I'm gonna knock this out, clean up, and then we're gonna get on the road to Yellowstone. All right, guys, I'm bringing you in here close. See this? So we're gonna do something pretty simple. This is just some chorizo you can buy at the grocery stores. It's in a pre-made package. You just knock it out, pull it out. Remember to pull it out of the casing, and then it's just it's like a regular meat, like a sausage style meat, spiced, pre-spiced and ready. And so all you got to do is break it out, get it out of the casing, and then start chopping it up like you would for, you know, sausage itself, like regular old sausage that you Oscar Mayer, any kind of stuff like that. Get it broken up, and then we're just gonna kind of get it real minced, and then once it's real minced, we're just gonna keep flipping it, let it cook, kind of separate up, kind of like a consistency of hamburger meat when it's cooked and ground like this. And then once it's done, or we see a little, you know, enough charring on it, it looks where we think it's ready to add eggs. All we'll do is add eggs, and then this bad boy will be ready to go. And it's fast, and it's packed with flavor. You can get super spicy, you can get regular spice, this is spicy. You can get all different heat levels. I tend to eat really hot stuff, you know, just eating straight jalapenos and stuff like that. To me, I don't really consider spicy or warm, so judge that for yourself. If you don't normally eat sliced jalapenos and stuff like that, I'd probably not get spicy. I'd probably get the normal, and then you can probably just add some hot sauce to there. So I'm gonna let that cook, and then once it's cooked down, I'll show you guys that, and then I'll add the eggs and we'll be done. Okay guys, so now you can see how it's a little cooked down, and you can see it's basically the consistency of hamburger meat. And so now, I don't know if you can see the discolorations and stuff, but what I did is I basically kind of charred a little bit, you know, get it cooked down, because you're going to use this is all the spice for the breakfast burritos. And so once you get to this point, I just kind of do the spread. That way you keep this warm, and it's nice to be not camping when it's super cold like I normally am. But this is what's neat about these scottles is now, check it out. So we can do that and hit it with a little bit of olive oil, go right to the egg. And we're just going to let that cook like you would normally do eggs. And then once it starts thickening up a little bit, then we'll roll it into each other, make some good mash, and then we're good to go. Oh, guys, look at that. It's just perfect. Now you see it mixed in. Eggs are mixed in. You can see a little char on these guys right here. It's just going to be perfect. Hey Marco, watch this sucker. Eat your heart out. Oh, a little bit of cheddar cheese. Okay, that's it. I'll heat this up for a minute. While I'm doing that, with those things on them, I'm gonna get some corn tortillas out like this, and then I'm gonna heat them up as well, and then we'll be good to go. Now, simple. We heat it back up. Put these bad boys on here. What? That's fucking wonderful. Here you go, brother. Take a look at that, guys. Oh, baby. Huh? And that's how you do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little cooking lesson. Nothing big, super simple, but gives you guys a good idea of other things that you can have on the trail. Anyway, I'm out of here. All right, so we are in Pinedale and we're getting his tire fixed. We're gonna get a grocery store and top off, and then we're heading straight to Yellowstone. This is the last part of the CD trail we'll be on, due to the fact that we really want to make tracks and get up into the Tetons of Yellowstone as fast as we can. The CDT trail, it would take us there, but it would take us probably an extra 4.5 hours. So instead of doing that, we're going to take the highway up and around through Jackson, Tetons, to Yellowstone. That way we can get there, we can get a campsite, we can get the Richard's tent built, and then we can start driving around that park and trying to take in as much as we can, because Wednesday morning we're up and we are rolling south. This is the north. When we get to Yellowstone, that'll be the farthest north we'll go. And then we are gonna get our rear ends headed south, and we'll be heading to Salt Lake City in Utah, where we're gonna stop by and see the guys at Harker Outdoors about their EDC campers. And then after that, we're gonna go to the guys' store for the DMOS shovel and talk to them. And after that, we're gonna go straight down to Swing Arm City in Utah. From Swing Arm City in Utah, we're gonna do some crazy night videos, hopefully. From there, we're gonna head to Moab, and we'll be in Moab a day and a half, thinking about fins and things and Hell's Revenge. And then after that, some camping, and then Saturday morning, so we'll be Moab kind of Thursday midday through Friday night. Saturday morning, we get up in Moab and head straight south, east-ish, to Cortez, Colorado, and down towards Santa Fe. Get to Santa Fe Saturday night, camp, wake up Sunday morning, have breakfast, and head on home. So we got lots to see. I'm pretty stoked, man. This trip has been pretty rad. It's gone pretty fast. And I'll say the reason why it has is the CD2 trail that we've been on, basically from Steamboat Springs, Colorado, going north, has been super easy. So I guess he's ready. So that being said, let's rock and roll, baby. But if you see that big guy behind me, and it's really, let's see, it's really that one, that's Mount Moran. Mount Moran is 12,582. Isn't that a cool view? It's crazy. Nuts. Right there. I can see it right there. See Mount Moran. Mount Moran. Like 12,500 feet. It's just crazy. Okay, update real quick. We are in the Tetons National Park, but we're going to go straight through in kind of as quick as we can to get to the Yellowstone. Now, I would stay in both or either, but Richard really wants to see Yellowstone, and like it's going to be amazing either way. The weather's killer. I think it's gonna get down to maybe 50 degrees tonight, so you know, nothing significant, and so we're just gonna make our way through the Tetons and then into Yellowstone. And this place is ridiculous, but remember this, annual park pass. I get it every year, $80 a year. My entrance is free. For this vehicle to get in here just to drive through would have cost me $35. So any park I ought to go to, it's generally that, between 25 and 35. So in one or two parks you paid for it. Well, this would have been that plus 20 per person. And so, I mean, God.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I've really got to take a picture of this for you guys. I know this is just a quick pic for you guys, but this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is beyond beauty that you've never seen. You gotta come. I'm gonna let you guys check out the size of this lake. Look at this. I know a lot, it's real low, and I'm not sure why. I'll find out about that, but I mean, how incredible is this lake? It is massive, and I don't really know if you can tell how far it is over, but from where I'm standing here, all the way over to where that thing is, it says it's roughly a mile. So if that's a mile, what is that down there, right? Insane. It's just so insane. And I don't want to hear it, you guys. Yes, we're doing like the Clark's camping, you know, the family road trip. We're going to experience Yellowstone in Yellowstone, and whatever, dudes. It'd be smart for you too. So we're going to check it out. Go to Yellowstone. Stay actually in Yellowstone. So we're staying in G209, and it's all marked out and labeled. It's kind of like, I don't know, it looks like little cul-de-sacs and stuff like that in the neighborhood. Anyway, we're going to go to G209, and we're going to try to figure out how we're going to set up. And then obviously, because of the beautiful weather and stuff, there's lots of people here, so we're going to set up real quick, and then I think we're out of here. I think we're going to go drive around and check out some stuff in the park. Guys, I don't know how well this is coming clear, but this is called the Blue Funnel. Now, we didn't find a temperature rating on some of this stuff, but I mean, it's boiling, so you know, it's over 150 degrees. And the funny thing about it is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's super clear. But look at this. And that right there goes back miles. So this is called thumb paint pots. And these are like, we're assuming, the beginning processes. As you can see, it's still kind of watery and muddy, whereas the other ones have become hard and clear water. Look at this, guys. It's early evening, and here's a female up eating. It's a young elk. It's a young girl, but still super pretty. All right, guys, this is called Dragon's Mouth Spring. Dragon's Mouth. Somebody named this in 1912. Look at this insane thing. It's almost like something's like, I don't know how to explain it. The compression of the water. I mean, I can only imagine the size of the bubbles and stuff coming out of it. I mean, it's very, very hot. You can see that. See, look at that. Like it's almost like a jetty connected to the ocean. Insane. Okay, boys and girls, you can see obviously it's starting to get dark outside. We are making our way back to camp. It was about 20 miles to the other side of the park to where the valley is, and that's where, if you come to Yellowstone, you want to be in the valley, either down there in the Tetons around 3, or you want to be in the valley here in the upper northern valley by Mud Volcano, just past the Mud Volcano. You want to be up there by 2 or 3. because they feed obviously about that time, and then 4 to 5 they start making their way up into the trees and you may not see them. So bison, elk, all that stuff. I've seen a couple other elk. I got some footage of it that you guys will see. But if you want to see the animals, make sure you know it's early stuff. They're morning, you know, they're out in the valleys, and then early afternoon they're out in the valleys, and they move up to the trees and bed down for the night. But we are thanks for hanging out today, for sure. We're on our way back to our camp, and then we're kind of in a crunch because it's 8 o'clock now and everything has to be, you have to have quiet time at 10 o'clock, so we need to get back, and they want to do steaks and potatoes, so I need to get a fire going in the fire pit and get that heat up so I can wrap those big potatoes and put them in the fire. So that's about what we got going. So I'm going to haul butt and do that, and then I'll catch up to you guys in just a little bit. Current situation. That's whiskey and that's full of bourbon, or excuse me, bourbon. And then got some onion sauteing. Right there we have some ribeyes and some squash. And that's it. I mean, we just got a fire. We got the ship pod together. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I mean, this is a pretty popular national park, but there are literally trucks, vans everywhere. But the funny thing is, there's a whole lot of Prevost buses and Sprinter buses and Sprinter vans and the cargo vans versus like family rigs. So I guess that shows that a lot of these people that are coming to these family parks are either wealthy or old. But anyway, we're gonna hammer this out. So that's what we finished with. Thanks for hanging out. We're gonna go ahead and eat these things and relax. Thanks for following.